So PvZ3 Evolved is a pile of garbage. No surprise there. Is anyone surprised? The grass is green and the sky is blue. They released a new update though, and supposedly they fixed a lot of stuff. Or at least supposedly they did. So why don't we check it out and see if PvZ3 Evolved's improved or not. Let's talk about the seeds. Currently, the integration of seeds is still a thing. The only way to unlock plants is through seeds. The good thing now is though that it costs less to unlock plants in the first place, which is good. Amazing actually. Tier 2 plants to be specific. They went from costing a crap ton of seeds to only 25 for each. For example, Sling Pea cost 25 pea shooter seeds and 25 cabbage pot seeds, which before they cost way more, which made it impossible to unlock plants. I still hate the implementation of seeds in the first place. Plant progression shouldn't feel grindy, though it's not like PopCap cares. But I'll try to be positive and praise them for lowering how much it costs to unlock tier 2 plants, because they're only tier 2 plants at the end of the day, and shouldn't feel like a bore to unlock, because the game's whole thing is fusion plants and how unique they are and the fun of combining plants together. Tier 3 plants don't really cost that much anymore either. Obviously they cost more, but I think it's pretty reasonable now. For example, 3 nut only costs 25 pea shooter seeds and 75 walnut seeds, 100 seeds in total, like how Juggernaut costs 100 walnut seeds. Well, I say only, but I still think it's grindy, and I hate the way you progress through unlocking plants that way. It's still gonna take you quite a bit to unlock a lot of tier 3 fusion plants, but thank goodness they lowered it. I just find it unusual since you unlock certain plants now like Sawgrass or Electro Reed after a level, which means they do understand that through level progression, you should be able to unlock plants the more you go on. But then, at the same time, they're like, oh, you have to use these seeds for certain plants. Like, okay, I guess they're bipolar. I like that at least you can unlock certain tier 2 fusions as soon as you unlock specific basic plants. That should have been how it was before, but thank God they changed it now. Speaking of seeds, obviously, you still unlock them still with the Zen Garden. And the Zen Garden is still crap. I'm not surprised that they didn't change it. There's a lot of things I didn't expect them to change. But a lot of people complain about the Zen Garden, so I fully thought there'd be some sort of modification. My biggest problem with the Zen Garden is that it feels so limited and, no surprise, grindy. You still have to watch an ad for a 4th flower pot, which is stupid and just mobile game slop. I don't like how empty the Zen Garden truly feels. The first and second game Zen Garden was full of flower pots, and while the second game Zen Garden isn't my favorite with the fact that it was strictly limited to being to boost plants and collect coins, the first game Zen Garden had so much to do. There was a daytime, a nighttime, a pool time, a tree of wisdom, as known as it was. This third game was just 4 flower pots that you can fuse plants together sometimes and it gives you seeds. That's all it does. Thankfully, every time you beat a level, you can get 5 wild seeds, so you're guaranteed to get a plant no matter what every 5 to 6 levels, as tier 2 fusions require 25 seeds typically. In conclusion, you can actually unlock fusion plants easier rather than grindy for days on end, leading to more entertaining gameplay rather than misery. The Zen Garden games though continue to be boring. I don't think this is something they'll fix, as it's not the biggest problem in the world, but it's honestly such a pain to play these odd jobs. They're not fun and they feel repetitive. I don't think you should have to play games in order to gain tools in the first place, and I believe you should be able to unlock certain tools through a coin shop or something. Yes, I know I was just complaining about how you have to buy everything now, but that's just how the first PvZ Zen Garden worked. Or if they really want minigames, why not bring back some classic minigames from the first game? PopCap loves nostalgia baiting after all. I think they should bring back the sprout mechanic as well, where you can unlock sprouts through level progression rather than having an unlimited amount of plants. But that means they should increase the rows of flower pots as well. Progression is just not a thing, and PvZ3 evolved and they should implement more of it. Now, I can talk about something that I forgot to talk about in my last video that I found pretty interesting. The community. The community is a great idea. I gotta give them that. Where you're able to join other neighborhoods, good idea, but do they do anything with it? No, not really. You join a community and the game does practically nothing with it. The only thing it does is the Neighborville Watch, where you defeat certain targets in the watch that increases the meter for everyone in the community. This is boring. You can't even see other people's lawns. You can view them in order to give hearts, but you can barely call it a gimmick. It doesn't even feel like you are in a community. They really should do more with it, but that can apply to practically everything in this game, so I'm hoping by the next update they do something with it. Fingers crossed. There really is potential there. Now here's something they've actually changed. but honestly, I'm not so sure that it's a good thing. They made it where there are bigger zombie waves to visit your house. You guys know what this means? More zombie spam. We love zombie spam. Okay, guys, this is what I think. If you're gonna make your level design randomized, you shouldn't overwhelm the lawn, because PvZ should be about strategy, and there's no strategy in desperately placing plants in hopes that you'll survive. Where's the fun in a group of imps immediately coming in game when you've only placed a few sunflowers? I just hate how fast-paced PvZ 3 feels compared to the last two games, and PvZ 2 was already rapid. They assume that children have low attention spans, so everything should be fast-paced and shouldn't take its time. There will be moments where the level is swamped with certain zombies, which you can argue that's to encourage you to use tier 2 and tier 3 plants, which yes, it makes a lot of sense, but eventually you're gonna get bored of playing the same similar levels over and over and over again. And there are other ways to have the player use stronger plants rather than overloading the level with zombies. But speaking of the tier 2 and tier 3 plants, one thing they changed is that now stronger fusions are actually, stronger. The tier 1 basic plants got completely nerfed, so the game actually needs you to use fusions this time. Leveling isn't so necessary now. If you have tier 3 plants, you'll be more than fine, and I love that. The game's main selling point is the fusions, so of course, the gameplay should be all about fusions. That leads me to the positive about the new update. Do you remember when I mentioned before that PvZ3 Evolved had a crap ton of levels? Like, a bunch of them? Well, thankfully, the game actually lowered the amount of levels to 75. For reference, PvZ1 has 50. Here's the problem though. Like I said before, every level feels the same. There's no pauses for minigames, a new zombie gets introduced every 10 levels, or at least it feels like that. You feel like you're in an endless cycle. They said they removed filler, yet somehow every level feels the same. Less is more, but there being so many levels wasn't the only problem. The other problem was that every level was randomized and lacked human touch. Just like the community, there is a lot of potential because I feel like there's a good game here. It's just horribly executed. I like the idea of fighting a boss every other level, like the Esgar goat. Some of these zombie gimmicks are interesting, like the pigeon feeder zombie or the stuffed imp, but these worlds, so boring. The wet and soul tiles are generic, and literally impossible to counter by the way unless you use a boost, and other gimmicks just feel repetitive. It's a shame, to be honest, that somehow in a game about fusing plants together and exploring different mechanics and how certain plants works, it's still tedious. Because where's the fun in using what I consider engaging creative plants on levels that are the opposite of engaging and creative? Oh well, what can you do? I shouldn't have expected this update to be anything huge. I'm glad they're getting somewhere. I'm gonna keep a positive and open mind and hope that they take their time and release a game that could match the quality of the first and the other second game. But this is me being incredibly hopeful though. I guess we'll see. Comment down below what you guys want in PvZ3, I'm curious. That's about it guys, see ya.